All right, yeah, we'll be in touch. Oh, God, let's not crash. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to The Debrief. I'm just leaving a car park with the legendary comic Dave Callan. So, hello, Dave.
Legendary?
Yeah, there's a lot of legends on this show. We've got a lot of legends, mate.
I haven't been called legendary before.
What, never?
No.
But you've got that great Irish accent. They've been called a legend.
Thank you very much. I take it on board.
Take it on board, like Highlander.
It's very good to be on this podcast. I've heard many things about it.
Have you?
I like the idea. You've seatbelted my cable into your torso now. That's why I'm leaning forward. I'm not trying to kiss you yet until you take me to McDonald's.
Yet.
He's just listeners, he's unbuckled his seatbelt and he's replugged it in under my cable. He was pinning my cable to his chest and I leant forward like I was going,
yeah, I felt
now that
pressure.
the podcast's on, let's get a bit familiar.
Just got to leave the parking lot.
I'll get the energy flowing.
This is the part where I have to drive and
Oh yeah.
people are worried they're going to
crash.
crash.
Is this part of the podcast? How often do you start the podcast before you insert the ticket into the thingo to get out?
I'm a big believer in parking in the street.
Oh yeah.
I don't like parking in parking lots.
Yeah. Who wants to support the man?
Exactly, but I couldn't find a spot tonight. So we're leaving the city.
Yeah.
Me and Dave have just done what do you call a corporate gig?
Yeah, that's what they're called.
For a chocolate company, and I love chocolate. And you know what?
We don't mention any brands.
Not on my
names.
podcast. It's not the ABC.
Yeah. Your podcast's like the ABC. In other words, somewhat corrupt and underfunded.
Yes, underfunded. A lot of people work for free.
Yeah.
Come on our show.
Wait a minute, am I not getting paid? Is it your way of breaking it to me?
You're not getting paid.
I accept payment in burgers, bitch.
And I mean, we do. How many do you do these sort of gigs a bit? You would.
Podcasts.
Corporate gigs.
Oh. Yeah, I do. I don't chase them, but they come to me. Do you know what I mean?
Oh my God, road closed. What the
yeah, we'll have to. Listeners, the road is closed. They were sending us back into
They've closed Russell.
So
is it Russell Street?
Mate, they've closed everything. I don't know. It's flipping bedlam on the streets here.
Yeah, you don't go after them, but you get them anyway.
We could go. Yeah, whatever way you want to go. So you maybe get onto Sydney Road.
Sydney Road, I know Sydney Road.
I asked Dave before the podcast, dear listener, whether it's okay or not to give directions during the podcast.
Definitely.
Or whether I'd have to write them on my phone and hold them in front of his face, just so we didn't interrupt the flow. But
I've had a fair bit of directions and abuse from people saying I'm not driving properly.
Oh, hashtag Husey.
Don't crash, mate. Don't crash. What are you doing? I said, I've never crashed. He said, well, it could be your first time, which is true.
Oh, yeah. If you haven't crashed, the statistics are not in your favour.
No, it's true.
It happening that day.
But it's a Tuesday night in Melbourne. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
We'll be fine. But yeah, so you don't chase those sort of gigs?
I don't go after corporates like a ravenous self-promoter, but they do come to me. I guess
you've got a profile. You're very good, and you're good for most crowds. I'd say, not every crowd.
Thank you very much.
Like tonight, watching you, I haven't seen you for a while. Obviously, I watched your DVD over and over.
Yeah.
Do you have a DVD?
No.
No. There you go. YouTube clips. Anyway, and I haven't seen you for a while, but I was
watch me through my window.
Yes. How good, you've got a lot of short stuff, which is good.
Oh, people have no spans of attention. at a corporate.
I know. Some they do, but that one, it was in the Plaza Ballroom, which is below the Regent Theatre. And it's a beautiful space, but it's quite large. And they're all standing around. It wasn't a seated affair.
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
But there were some seats down the front. The people down the front were awesome.
Yeah, that was great. They actually kind of, from the stage, eventually, it kind of felt and looked like a little comedy club.
Yeah, it was great.
Even though there's a cavern, if you know the space, there's a cavernous room behind you.
Big space.
But they did put up chairs, not many, and not enough for everyone. But
enough, and they filled the seats too.
Yeah, they did.
And the people were really nice, and we survived, and we're here driving home.
Yeah. Oh, this comes to mind, Dave. They had a guy, and I told you about him earlier, but like, from where you were on stage, front and right a bit, he was sitting on his own, and he had his arms folded really tight, and he was just looking down, looking really...
He wasn't looking at his phone, or...?
Hated the world. No, not looking at his phone.
Maybe just been fired from the chocolate industry.
He might
Get out.
He might have been their Snugglesworth, like in the Willy Wonka movie.
Yes.
But he was not having a good time with life. And,
have you ever been to a chocolate factory?
Yes, one.
Oh,
yeah.
Which one?
It was in England, and I think it was a Mars.
Mars or Cadbury?
What? Yeah.
could have been.
One of
Cadbury
them.
was a British company. Mars was American.
Oh yeah, but they still make them in every country, Dave.
Yes, yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. Mars is a family company. The family still own it.
What?
Yep.
It's like a dynasty.
It's like a dynasty.
Oh, that's fascinating.
And
so much.
And Mars, the son left the dad very early on and went to England and created his own Mars company. I don't know whether he had the dad's permission. We'll have to check the legals of this. And he invented the Mars bar, which was a copy of the Milky Way.
Oh, so it's like a bigger Milky Way.
Yes.
Is that for real?
Yeah, that's. Oh, you look into the history, because I asked a bit of, because I was emceeing, I researched a lot of trivia about chocolate bars.
Yeah.
And the world of chocolate bars is fascinating.
I knew that one you told about M&M's having a shell because of war.
That's one of the best facts about M&M's were invented because Mars Senior, the Mars guy, was on holidays in Spain during the Civil War.
Why would you go to a holiday in a civil war? That makes no sense.
Dolores is this great. I just love a war. I love an event. We'll go to the Spanish Civil War.
Yeah.
And he noticed that these soldiers had these pellets of chocolate in their pockets, so the chocolate wouldn't melt.
Right.
And
some poor desk clerk working for the Spanish militia.
Yeah.
Basically invented M&M's and got nothing.
Yeah, then I assume Smarties as well. I assume M&M's came first and then Smarties.
Yeah.
And then, this is what's happened.
Bloody white people.
Oh, man. Had enough of them.
Yeah.
Stealing chocolates. But that is a great fact. And Snickers is named after the horse of the Mars family.
Ha, that's silly.
Maltesers were originally called energy balls, and they were designed as a diet food aimed at slimming women. Women that were trying to lose weight.
Not the way I eat them, mate.
No, exactly. Gee, that bus got very close to that car.
Yeah, this should be a vodcast, mate, because the traffic is crazy tonight. And the roadworks is bedlam.
A bus just did a U-turn and nearly took a guy out.
I've never seen a bus do a U-turn before. That's brand new for me.
It's impressive, isn't it?
Yeah.
And how long have you lived in Melbourne?
I came here in the year of our Lord, 1998. And I believe I first met you.
Yeah, I always like to do this on this podcast.
Cool.
Where? I can't remember.
So it's one of two places. Either at Channel 9
Rove
in the Rove days, and Rove would have been like, "Oh, that's Dave O'Neill," and so
don't talk to him. He's an asshole.
Oh no, there's actually 3 options now. I've just expanded it. Secondly was the Lygon Street comedy.
You know what? Yeah.
The second, I think it was probably there.
You know, I remember meeting you. I didn't go on Rove Channel 9, but I went on Rove Channel 10 several times.
I thought you were going to say I didn't go on Rove Channel 9, but I went on Rove the person. I thought you were going to say you went on him, like you dry humped him.
Rove. So Rove, like you came from Perth.
Yes.
And he was, he was a very hard-working comic.
Oh yeah.
He did a double act with Duff, and then he did a solo stand-up.
Yeah.
And I always tell a story. He used to live in Richmond, where I lived.
Yes, on Coppin.
Yes.
We can give the address now because he doesn't live there anymore. Unless you got a time-travelling machine.
You know who else lived there? Sammy J lived there for a while.
Yeah, he did. He lived in...
Because I dropped him off and I went, this is where Rove used to live, in these flats.
I used to live in Richmond for 2 years myself. I was on Laity Street, way up near Victoria.
Well, my mum's from Richmond, so I know a lot of... My uncle still lives in the house where Mum grew up. Anyway... I remember dropping Rove off, and I remember saying to my girlfriend, what's ever going to happen to Rove? I don't know. Because Rove was telling me how he wanted to quit comedy and stuff on the way home.
Oh, wow.
And I was the more senior comic. I was talking him down. Come on, mate, you're funny.
Talking him down
fine.
for the ledge.
I reckon within a year he had his own Tonight Show.
Yeah, that's funny. What was he going to do when he said he was going to quit?
Well, he didn't know acting, I think he said.
Yeah.
Because he's actually quite a good actor. Right?
He is. He's brilliant.
He's a funny actor.
I've seen a video cassette, because that's what we had back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Of him in a high school production as the dentist from the Little Shop of Horrors.
He'd be good.
And he nails it.
He'd be good in musicals.
He can sing a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Nails it.
Because that's where I reckon I might have met you there, or maybe because I remember when Rove got his show, he said, I'm bringing this writer across from Perth who's brilliant, and it was you.
Oh, what?
Yeah, Dave Callan.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So bringing Dave Callan across.
Oh,
then, of course, you were on the Rove. How many years were you on the Rove show?
2. So we did the first year at Channel 9 and the second year at Channel 10.
You're only on for 2 years. See, I just
always,
thought you were on there for a longer time than that.
Oh, yeah.
Kids
It's
on the
funny how-
couch.
Perceptions change over years. I mean,
Yeah.
some people think I was on till the end. I'm like, that was probably 11 more years than I was.
Yeah. Oh, people say to me, I love your radio show. I haven't done radio shows for... I'm like, what one's that?
I just got asked tonight, so he's still on Triple J. I'm like, it's been 8 years, but no. Yeah. People
It takes a while for people to cotton on.
That's all right. You can still get booked on the basis that you're doing certain things that you're not doing anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you started in Perth?
Started in Perth in 1993.
93,
Yep.
yeah, wow.
It was a whole different millennium back then.
Different time.
Different times. But I had my rules when I first started. I would never repeat material. That didn't last more than 4 weeks, 5
Crazy.
at the most. My other thing was I'm never going to swear. Fuck that
Really?
for
So
a
how
joke.
long were you clean? Yeah, fuck that.
I was clean for a bit longer. I was clean for about 2 years, I reckon.
And were a lot of the Perth comics swearing?
Yeah, all of them were.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna be different.
And then we'll probably go, is he a Christian? Oh, what's wrong with Dave Callan?
Well, I mean, I didn't really like swearing back then, but
But you like it now, or?
well, I don't really swear in real life at all. But I think it has a power with stand-up in terms of punctuating certain sentences. Swear words often have very harsh vowel sounds, and so it creates a better kind of transmission of a punchline to have powerful words in there.
You didn't swear tonight.
I did actually say, "Oh fuck, I nearly fell over," but
That's right.
that wasn't part of the routine. At least I took them all out of my routine.
Yeah.
And then I accidentally nearly fell, and then said, "Oh fucking, I nearly fell over." But I got probably the biggest laugh of the night
Yeah.
of my set.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Yeah. No, you had some good laughs, don't worry. When you do some of that lyric stuff, they'll loving that. When you question the lyrics.
Oh yeah.
You loved your line, which I haven't heard before, when you said, what do you say, TNT, it's dynamite. And you go, don't explain explosives to the Irish.
Yeah. that's a new bit.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Oh, thank you. It's funny when you do a routine over and over again, suddenly, just in the moment, some idea will pop up that you haven't thought of before. And it's always been there,
But, it was like, but I think that they were quite young, that crowd. There were some guys my age, but not many. And I don't think they remember the Troubles. I was thinking, I don't know if they know the IRA Troubles.
Yeah, people don't know Irish people like blow shit up anymore.
Yeah, well, see, my generation remember it, don't worry.
Yeah. Oh, sorry about that.
But, I heard a lyric the other day, Rose Tattoo, which made me laugh.
Oh, yeah.
It goes, we can't be, what's it goes? We can't be beaten. Can't be defeated. Don't know the words. Well, mate, you just said the words. So, you do know the words, angry. Can't be defeated. Don't know the words.
Bloody angry. I was getting a lift to the airport from my mum yesterday in Perth, and Barnsley comes on and it goes blue denim in his veins, and mum just goes,
class man.
yeah, that's you picked it. And then my mum just goes, blue denim's in his veins. That's a bit silly.
Good on your mum.
Yeah, nice work, mum.
And that song wasn't written by Jimmy Barnes, it was written by a Canadian.
What?
Yeah, it was written by the keyboardist from Journey, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a few references to America in there. North American references like Fall. If you listen to it closely, Working Class Man has got American references in it. Yeah.
It was written by the songwriter from Journey.
Yeah.
Barnsley didn't write it at all.
No.
This is outrageous.
I know. I mean, he can write songs, but he didn't write Working Class Man.
Oh, he needs to hand back his bloody citizenship.
Well, he was written by the keyboardist.
But why didn't the keyboardist from Journey use it in America, or did he try and sell it there, or what happened?
That's a good question. I don't know how the song came about. Because songs like, I know you're a Daryl Braithwaite fan, and you mentioned Horses Tonight.
Oh, yeah.
But Rise, remember Rise?
I do. Rise in his own way.
Yeah.
Makes me rise in my own way. Yeah.
Rise in my own way.
That
That was a release from an independent Melbourne band. I remember. Oh, jeez, we are going to have an accident.
Mate,
we are.
This is the night.
This is the
I'm feeling
night.
it. Just so you know, dear listener, the old mate just changed from a right-hand turning lane into a left-hand turning lane just before the bloody barrier bit that makes water come out and splash everywhere.
Hughes will be sitting there going, I knew it. I knew he was going to crash.
Oh, I'm glad I did the right podcast. That was the worst Hughes impression ever. Anyway.
Yeah, and he's easy. Out of most people, it's easy to do.
Yeah.
Just like that. It's just kind of. Anyway, so Rise was. I remember seeing it on music shows. It was like an independent band. I remember their film clip was at the bottom of a housing commission flat. And they're singing "We Can Rise," and it was a different instrumentation, but it's the same song. Yeah. But then he just bought it off them.
How many years later?
Oh, 4 maybe, 3 or 4.
3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And so it never went anywhere, so no one knew it.
Never went anywhere. No. But I'm a bit of a music buff like you, Dave, and I'd seen it. I knew.
Yeah, you knew because you'd been tuning into the Countdown Top 40.
Same as Torn by...
Yeah, that's a cover as well.
Yeah. It's a Swedish song, I think.
Yeah. It is a Swedish song, that's correct.
Yeah.
And Valerie by bloody old mate Amy Winehouse.
Is it?
That's a cover by the Zootons did the original one.
Oh, the Zootons. God, I've forgotten about them.
Oh, I'm surprised you even knew them.
Yeah, I know the Zootons now. There's a girl and a guy, isn't there?
That's the Zootons.
Yes, and they sort of had colourful clothes. They'd be like, they remind me of Dixie Midnight Runners.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, I've got to look them up now.
It's so funny, like stuff that's just epic, and like it's never denied that it's a cover, but it's certainly not obliquely stated. So,
but you know, when you find out like "I'll Always Love You" by Whitney Houston, written by Dolly Parton.
Yeah, that's.
And I saw her on Letterman, and she just went. Letterman goes, "Oh, I prefer your version." She goes, "No, I prefer Whitney's." And he's like, "Oh, why don't you?" She goes, "Because it makes me a lot of money."
That's a great answer.
Dolly Parton said, "How did she meet her husband? Have you ever heard her tell about how she met her husband?"
No.
She was doing her laundry in Nashville. I think it's Nashville, in the laundromat, and he drove past in a truck and yelled out something at her.
What? He sexually harassed her?
Yeah, then she yelled something back at him. He stopped his truck and got out and talked to her, and that's how they met.
That's stunning.
And he still owns a rock removal business, or tarring the road business. Yeah.
Well, there you go. There's a lid for every pot.
Ugh.
Next time, gentlemen, the message is: if you see a woman in a laundromat, sexually harass her.
Yeah, just yell her out of the truck.
That's not what I believe.
Because I know because you're one of the comics that's into music.
I am.
Because I know you're a Depeche Mode fan.
I didn't want that to be. No, they're
Publicly.
okay. They're kind of. You know what? When
When are they going to tour?
When I first liked them, it was superbly uncool. But now
they're cool.
Yeah.
The Personal Jesus stage was cool.
Yeah, that's when they got cool. I was so glad because I liked them before that, and then that album, Violator, happened with Personal Jesus, and suddenly they're globally
cool.
kind of cool again. And
well, they all sort of wore black, but you like them from since Just Can't Get Enough.
Tiny bit
after that.
Yeah.
Picture of You. So it was with Martin Gore was still in the band.
Oh, I was a tiny kid when I started getting into them. I loved Construction Time Again and Stripped and all that stuff that came out.
People Are People.
Yes.
My favourite song is Enjoy the Silence.
Oh man, what an epic.
All I ever wanted, all I ever needed.
Here in my arms.
Did you ever see that documentary they did called Depeche Mode 101?
Oh yeah.
Where they have a bus where they got their fans on it. They won a competition.
Oh, it's great.
That's the funniest.
Yeah.
I remember we borrowed it from a video shop. We just watched it over and over again.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
And the fans are on this bus, and then they interview the lead singer, David. Is it Dave?
Dave Gahan.
Dave Gahan. Yeah. And they ask him what he would do, and he said he'd work in a shoe shop.
That's
right.
And
it's like Spinal Tap. You go, is this true? And
no,
he goes,
yeah.
Do you reckon that's fake? Or looking back at it now, do you reckon that's fake?
I don't know. Maybe it was the first thing that came to his head.
He
actually would.
Oh, I'd work in a shoe shop. It's like, what?
Maybe that's what he did before he got his...
Yeah.
You gotta check it out. I'll lend it to you if you can't find it because it's hard to track down. But they recently brought out a video anthology on DVD.
Oh, really?
And all of the videos have commentaries on them.
Great.
I swear to God, they don't remember any of the early videos. They're like, I do not remember any of this. Like, and it's so funny. But like, they're going, oh, what was I doing? Like, was I trying to be serious here? Because I look ridiculous. But
do you remember all your old routines if you look back at videos? Because I can't remember some of mine.
Oh, you know, I'm the same actually now that you mention it. Yeah.
Because I watched a video of me on some show 10 years ago, and I did a routine. I'm like, I do not remember that routine.
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, I do look at either look at old stuff or I have people talk to me and say stuff like,
Do you remember?
Do you remember you used to do this routine about such and such? And I go, no. And then they'd recite the entire routine word for word. Yeah. And towards the end of the routine, I'd start remembering it. I go, oh wait a minute, that's
Yeah, write it down for us. Yeah, well, you should do one about you're going home in the back of the divvy van.
Oh, that's right.
Do you still do that?
Yeah, so the issue with that one for me is it's attached to a bit of material I do that it turns out is a bit hack. So it's about Bono doing the clapping
the clap. Thing. Yeah, that's still a funny bit.
Yeah.
Every time I click my fingers, someone dies. Well, stop clicking your fingers, mate.
Yeah, and so.
Yeah.
But as it turns out, like it's an actual thing that happened in Dublin that my uncle told me about.
Yeah. See.
But it unfolded over the years, and someone told me that Billy Connolly did it.
Yeah, right.
He recited the story. Robin Williams did it as well.
Really?
Yeah. So it just looks hack. The fact that I've possibly stolen it off one or both of them.
No,
but it's
mate,
an actual thing that happens.
Yeah,
so.
it's real life, mate. It's actual history. You know, one of my friends went and saw Billy. Have you seen Billy Connolly?
Yes.
And he went and saw him 2 nights in a row.
Yeah.
And Ross Noble told me this. Not my friend, Ross Noble, because Ross Noble he loves Billy Connolly.
Yeah.
And he went and saw him 2 nights in a row, and he said the only thing that was different is that he did his routines in a different order.
Yeah.
So it was all exactly the same, he said, but in a different order.
Yeah, right.
So he started off with relationships, then went into dogs or whatever, then he's growing up stuff, and then the next night he changed it around a bit.
Yeah. Oh, far out.
But Ross Noble told me this great story so he was at the hotel and he was doing this big theatre where Billy Connolly had just done a season, and Billy Connolly's stage manager came over and said, I'm his stage manager and he's a big fan of yours, and this is to Ross Noble. And Ross Noble's like, oh wow, how exciting. So he sees Billy Connolly the next day at breakfast and goes up to him and goes, g'day Billy, I'm Ross. And Billy just stares at him.
Oh no.
And he goes, and then he goes, I started to stutter. He goes, I'm doing the same theatre as you. And Billy goes, what, your own show? He's like, yeah, my own show. He goes, oh, well, good luck with that, and just walks off.
Oh, God bless him.
And he goes, I don't know whether this guy just made it up, that he was a big fan of mine.
Oh, obviously.
Yeah.
Bloody hell, what a practical joker, maybe, or who knows?
Because Billy Connolly didn't know who he was.
Maybe he thought he was Tim Minchin.
Yes. Where's your piano?
Yeah.
Heartbreaking. Have you ever met Billy Connolly? Or?
I have not, no.
No, not right.
Have you?
No.
I'd like to.
I'm trying to think of I've met Chris Rock. It's the most famous comic I've probably ever met.
How'd you meet him? He was
Yeah, we interviewed him on radio. I mean, Hughesy.
Yeah, right, that's right, yeah.
We interviewed him on radio.
Yeah.
He once he found out we were comics, he sort of relaxed a bit. He's like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, of course.
But Rove, you would have had comics on. Well,
Yeah.
Me, you, yeah.
Well, sorry, who had comics on?
Rove, the Rove show. You would have met people on that.
Indeed, yeah. Oh, I met Steve Coogan.
Oh, well, that's
Awesome.
pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I like Steve Coogan. I met Eddie Izzard.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah. I've met Dave O'Neill.
Oh, yeah, I know him.
Yeah.
One of the Daves.
We've had a few. These podcasts must go on forever if you do like what we usually do, which is like drive way out to bloody Whoop.
I was in Marwela last night.
Gig. Where were you?
I was in Marwela. Which was
Marwela sounds like an African lady. Marwela.
Yeah, Marwela. Yeah, where did we drive together? God, when was that?
Oh, mate, we've done unis over the
we've
years.
done unis together.
Way out
back when they had uni, I think it was Burwood.
Yeah,
back when they did uni gigs.
I'm sure we've done some really remote country things now.
I think we have.
Yeah. So you're going to turn left up Albion.
Oh, Albion. I don't want to give away your address though, mate.
Oh, flip, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's not Albion, everyone. All right, just relax.
Albion's not the street I'm on.
No, you're near Albion. You're near Albion.
Do I just give you directions like next left, next right?
So you did Rove, then you did Triple J. I remember Triple J. Triple J used to be hilarious. You used to do overnights and Saturday nights, didn't you?
I did, mate. So they started me out doing midnight to dawn on a Saturday night, Sunday morning. And it just took off because all the talkback was lit. For some reason, maniacs wanted to talk to me.
Yeah. It was very funny.
I was like the crown prince of loonies. They all just got drawn to my something about me. Anyway, so I don't know whether it's a compliment to myself. Yeah. And so then basically, because it did so well, they said, oh, we're putting you on 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Saturday. Prime time, because it's great. And
how did that go?
I did the best I could, but there was no interesting talkback at all.
Yeah.
Compared to the lit people I was talking to at night, there was nobody really interesting or crazy. It was just all, oh yeah, we're having a party. Oh yeah, we've got some waffle.
We're having a barbecue now.
Yeah. So I was, I persevered with it, and I didn't ask them to put me back, but they said at the end, look, I think I did 2 years.
Of Saturday nights.
Of 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then for the last 3 years I was back on midnight to dawn. They were like, look, we're going to go with something else, but we love what you did and we think it's funny. And it generates content for the breakfast show. They'd have Carney of the Week on there and so on. And so I was like, yeah, look, I get it. I think it's a good idea. So,
yeah.
However, the hours weren't as good. I didn't get to go out afterwards, but obviously because it's 6 a.m. when you finish, but unlike 9 p.m. when you finish, which is great because there's still stuff
and
to...
You can do gigs and stuff.
Socialise, do a gig. So anyway, I went back on midnight to dawn for 3 years, and it was epic again. It was great fun. But, with Triple J, you have a bit of a shelf life because the demographic is fairly young, and so you have to be...
the average age apparently is 31.
Yeah, right.
So they're not that young. They like to think they're young.
Yeah, yeah.
And what the guy Richard Kingsmill, he'd be my age. That runs Triple J, the music guy.
Oh, really? Do you reckon?
Yeah, he'd be 50s. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, maybe so, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's down here.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And see, what's interesting about you is that you've approached comedy. You've got dance in comedy. You do those great shows where you have dances.
Oh, but
how did that come about?
Oh, about the time of the Beyonce Single Ladies routine. At that time, like, that came out and was a huge thing. I got asked to MC a burlesque show in Adelaide, which was also big at that time. And so they were like, just join us for the last number. It's can you do any dancing? And I'm like, I just dance like an idiot when I'm out. I can't really learn
proper
choreography.
Dancing.
But
yeah.
I'm willing to, if you're willing to be patient, I'm willing to learn this whole Beyonce routine that they had planned for the finale. And so we did, and just got a huge response.
Like, well, you're a big, tall, bearded man, and
I forgot about that.
It is very funny. When I first saw it, it was like you did it at a pub I was at, and the guys, and we had comedy regularly there, and the guy said, "Hey, you've had a lot of comedians in this pub. That was the funniest thing I've ever seen."
Oh, really?
Yeah, the publican.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
that's great.
So he just thought it was the funniest thing ever, and it is very funny.
Oh, thank you.
But then you did a whole. So how many songs would you, when you did a show in the comedy festivals, and the fringe festivals, how many songs do you dance to?
So the recent one we've done is called Every Music Video Ever in Perth Fringe World. Just got back, and so I haven't counted them. I saw the
photo. And how many days? You had like 4 dances?
That's right, yeah.
So you've gone up from 3.
Stage. Yeah, if there's a big stage, I'll bloody do... four dancers on the stage behind me. But if there's a small stage, only 2. Depends how many can fit comfortably, and you need to fill the space, yeah? So anyway...
So you're doing like famous dancing videos, basically?
Yeah, so we start in 1975 with Bohemian Rhapsody, which was arguably the first ever video clip.
Yes.
And all we do for that, it's a good example, because some are full choreography and others are just visual gags. So for Bohemian Rhapsody, we get someone up from the crowd, make them kneel down face forward, I do the same, 2 dancers behind, and we just get a torch, the torch on my phone, and just shine it underneath us. We all fold our hands over our chests and kind of mime along to it. Then we do, 1976, we do Village People YMCA.
Oh, of course.
So we get the audience member to stay around, and they always fuck up the A, because it's like one dancer's Y, M, I'm C, and they just fuck up the A. But it's gold. Anyway, we go all the way through to 2018.
What 80s stuff do you do?
80s starts with Apache Jump On It.
Oh, yeah.
Dung, 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 dung,
yep.
dung, dung. And there's a dance from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air on there. And then we do, Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Oh, fantastic.
There's a bit of bloody Kate Bush in there. She might have been
course.
70s. Then there's, we do Flashdance.
Oh, what a feeling.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of Michael Jackson in there. There's a bit of NWA.
Great.
So we try and mix up the genres and keep the transitions really interesting, you know.
Are you doing this show anywhere else? You must.
Yeah, I'm going to do it for maybe Melbourne Fringe, but definitely Melbourne Comedy Festival next year.
Not this year, next year?
I think you'd like it, yeah.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah, anyone who loves music or...
yeah, I love it. I love a bit of dancing too. I love dancing.
Yeah, right.
I love a bit of that... Because I've seen you dance with those some of those girls before, and it's amazing.
Oh, cool! Yeah, no.
It's just good to see people doing something really well.
That's a bit of colour and movement, you know.
Oh, I love it. But how hard is it to write a show like that? So you've got to sit, because you don't. The dancers wouldn't write it. You would just sit in a room by yourself.
They do come up with ideas now and again that are actually gold. Yeah.
Yeah, because they've got that dance brain too. So they're like, why don't you do this? And you're like, I would never think of that.
And they're always bringing my attention to stuff that I might have missed, particularly modern day video clips. Sometimes I don't quite.
Of course.
I'm not as across them as I'd like to be.
Of course.
Yeah. So, but I generally write it, and the way I do it is I just I'm out like on a cruise ship, which I work on now and again at the disco, and suddenly a song will come on, and I'll just think of an idea, jot it into my notes, and I'll go into my notes and just patch it all together. Yeah.
Right.
And I'll go on YouTube and watch the latest videos. I'll watch people doing dance covers of the latest videos, parodies of them.
Yeah.
Just absorb everything I can.
But you're actually quite a good dancer, so you must have... Do those girls that dance, they teach you how to do it, do they? Or do you have a dance teacher as well?
No, I go to YouTube. I used to get them to teach me, but I learned so slowly that it's...
You can do it from YouTube?
I basically go on YouTube and I get a mirror and I point the laptop into the mirror, so I'm learning the choreography the correct way around. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand.
So
Yeah,
it
because it's
points to-
backwards. Yeah.
And then I'll go into a studio and tighten it up a bit, and then I'll end up teaching the dancers the dance routines, which is ridiculous because I'm the least experienced of all the dancers, and I'm teaching them what to do. But
they would catch very quickly, wouldn't they? Catch on.
That's what makes it economic.
Yeah,
makes it much more time economic. And to answer your question about writing it, there's always new things coming up. Like I look out for Facebook clips. Like last week, I don't know if you saw it. There was a Facebook clip of an Irish girl in a toilet, and her mate's filming her on her phone. And so there's a broken toilet seat with the lid hanging off it. And this Irish girl, she's so funny. She puts the toilet seat on her head and just spins it around. So I've seen this video and got right. That's going in. So
Have you had Riverdance? Any Riverdance?
Yeah, I have put Riverdance in it. You know the bit where Michael Flatley points at the girls and they all do like a shuffle? And then he points and they all do a shuffle down again.
Yeah.
But I've changed it. Now we do Bewitched, C'est la vie. Because there's an Irish dancing bit in that later on. And what I did was I got one of the girls to spin a toilet seat around her head during that.
Fantastic.
And it got actually a better reaction than anything I've ever done, which is a bit annoying.
And also you I know because we went to Carl Chandler's wedding together, which I have discussed on this podcast before.
Oh, because we didn't get him a present. Oh no, hang on, it was me and someone.
No, I was number 4. I was in his top 10 people who didn't get him a present.
People notice people. Make sure you get a present.
I was a witness to you left your present at Danny McGinley's house.
So I was at least
you actually had something for him, whereas I just didn't.
Yeah.
And you had swords with you, so we had to put your swords in my car, and we had to drive to Carl Chandler's wedding, which is in the country.
Yeah.
And so you're doing stuff like you're doing ninja stuff now.
Yeah, I've been doing that for ages, mate. I've been doing that for 4 years. I just got to 3rd Dan black belt, like 3rd degree.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I've been doing it intensely, like. Anytime I'm in town, I'm at the dojo every day.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, every day. Learning how to kill people.
Where do you just go to a gym to do that, or they have their own martial arts kind of place?
Well...
Can you tell us, or is it secret?
It's terribly underground.
Okay.
No, they have like it's not their own place, it's like a dojo in a school gymnasium in Mooney Ponds.
Sure.
Yeah, and you can sign up and get a lesson, come along and see what it's all about, but I just loved it. And the sensei is an amazing martial artist. And I figured, like... I'd like to do something after the dancing thing. The dancing thing seems to be going well still, but I don't want to keep doing it. It might be the law of diminishing returns.
Sure.
So I wanted to change it up, switch it up, move to something else. And so I figure that, martial arts is a good logical progression. Plus,
well, you don't see anyone do it in comedy.
Nobody does
Never.
it.
No one's breaking bricks on the head or anything like that.
There was one chap in China called Jackie Chan.
Yeah,
he's done a bit of it.
He's done well of it.
What I figured was the reason that it led me in this direction, just the whole creativity just seemed to go in the right direction for me, was the lyric Little Less Conversation was the name of the first free dancing
show. Yeah.
And what's the next lyric in that song?
A little less conversation, a little less more action?
Yes. So I was going to call the show A Little More Action.
That's right.
And have it all be fight choreography.
It's like a circle.
Yeah.
It's like a circle. Dave Callan's on the Debrief here with Dave O'Neill. My debrief questions, Dave. What went well tonight and why at the gig?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, look, as we know, it was a cavernous venue. Like it's epic sized. And I feel like what went well was the fact that they had acrobats up the front doing some fairly intricate work.
People, yeah.
Yeah, and so and they had place seats up the front, and to their credit, they didn't do that last time I played there. And so a lot of crowd came down and sat down. Then you got on and you doubled down on that. You were like, gather around.
Yeah, I was the host.
The best comedians.
I got some of their staff up and did a competition with them, a trivia competition on chocolate facts.
Chocolate facts.
I love them. Embarrass the boss, and probably won't get paid.
Yeah.
That's all right. What didn't go well and why?
It's an uphill battle with a venue like that.
Yes. Well, at least to my next question, were there any organisational hazards that got in the way? Well, yeah, there were a lot, but that's what they wanted to do. That's the thing. Sometimes with comedy gigs, you just got to walk in and go, oh, well, this is it.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to do that. And you know what I think was reassuring, and this is not schadenfreude at all, but it sounds like it, is the fact that the band had nobody after us.
Oh, man, the band came on, and they were great, the band.
They're fantastic and incredibly talented, and the crowd just... It's all about the venue, the fact that, when someone sees a band like that or sees us, they paid money, they've gone somewhere specifically to do something. Yeah. With them, it's almost like we're a flash mob.
Yeah. It's a conference, it's the work thing. They just want to network and have fun and drink, and they're away from their partners and stuff. They're just,
Yeah.
partying on.
They may not know that anyone's on. They may think it's just drinks and
Yes.
bloody schmoozing and...
Oh, I did a corporate gig once, and I was emceeing with Husey and Kate Langbrook, and a guy in the toilet said to me, we'd been on for an hour at least, and he goes, "What are you doing here?" I said, "I'm hosting the gig." He goes, "Oh, are you?" He hadn't even looked up. Oh, there was they were advertising people. They're the worst audience ever.
Yeah.
Like, just ignoring,
Yeah. Well, I put entertainment in front of a bunch of people on cocaine. They just want to talk themselves.
And how can we do better next time, Dave?
Next time...
We will move the venue, maybe. Look.
Oh, look, you accept kind of bad conditions if the money's right, yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
that's more money.
It's a tough one, but better next time. I don't know, you just got to come out with those ones and hit it hard. Be bigger than life, big body language.
Yeah.
Strut around the stage a bit.
Yes, you owned the stage, which is good.
Hit them with some really funny stuff up the front.
Yeah.
But without wasting it before they're laughing. That's the trick.
Yeah, that is hard.
So, I don't know.
Oh, look, we did well.
Yeah.
So we can play a song now, and we should play Depeche Mode, maybe.
That'd
it's
be
up
great.
to you.
Sure, I don't mind. Yeah, I'm always happy to play a Depeche Mode
Well, what song? I'm happy to play any. I love Depeche Mode.
We talked about Enjoy the Silence earlier.
I love Enjoy the Silence.
Yeah, let's do that.
All I ever want. And you've seen them, haven't you? I've never seen... I
saw them in 1993 or 2.
Wow.
And I met them all.
You met them?
I met all of them except Andrew Fletcher, the red-haired...
Oh, okay, the red-haired guy,
And I met Alan Wilder, who's not in it anymore. I met Martin, I met Dave. I won't get into all the stories, but they all were individually around this venue I went to. And it was a big build-up the whole night I was trying to meet them. I was going all over town. Anyway, so I met Dave Gahan, the lead singer. He was absolutely off chops. Like, I think that was the heroin era, yeah?
Yeah, well, you see him on that documentary we're talking about. He looked unwell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was sitting there. I've never seen a dude that gone, surrounded by so many women. Like, he was like not functioning as a human being, but there was like 7 women around him.
Right.
I remember counting them. And
maybe they were his nurses or something.
Perhaps.
Yes. What was Martin Gore like? Because he was the original lead singer.
Martin was, yeah.
Martin was, wasn't he? Yeah, he was.
No, Vince.
Sorry, I'm thinking of Vince.
Vince was the original lead singer before he went off to Yazoo and Eurasia.
Eurasia, yeah.
But Martin was the second songwriter after Vince left. Anyway, he was lovely. But Dave signed my autograph, and I told you, like I said, he was off chops. I gave him a piece of paper. He started writing D on the edge of the piece of paper, and then just kept writing into thin air. Like, most of the autograph was just in air. He was that blotto. So I got a D and half an A, I think, of Dave Gahan.
I love it. Depeche Mode. Because I had tickets to see him. Remember they toured, might have been the same tour, and they cancelled. Because he had a sore throat.
Oh, that's right. There was a bit of that, wasn't there, when he came over east?
Yeah.
And they've never been back. I've spoken to people about this, and they reckon they could just get too much money over. There's no way Australia could pay them the same amount.
As South America or somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere ridiculous like that.
Come on, Depeche Mode.
Yeah,
all I ever wanted, all I ever needed was here in your arms. Anyway, we'll go together if they come out.
Oh, yeah.
I reckon my part will just go, no, I'm not going to Depeche Mode. You go who can you go? Surely you know someone who's a fan.
Yeah.
It's you, mate. Right, let's play some Depeche Mode.
We'll have a ladies' night.
Enjoy the silence. And Dave Callan, so we should just plug your stuff. You're on Twitter and stuff.
Yeah, Twitter handle Dave Callan Twit.
And what festivals are you doing?
I just did Perth Fringe World, and I'm not doing any other festivals this year.
Sure.
I'm taking a year off, and then next year back into it.
Yeah, okay. Well, this is good for next year.
Oh yeah, we'll do a repeat.
I'm not doing any either.
Oh,
so
are you not?
I'm going overseas with my kids and wife.
Fantastic. Where to?
Italy, land in Italy.
Yeah.
Then go to Switzerland, where my twin brother lives, Glenn.
All right.
Yeah, I've got a twin brother,
What?
Glenn.
Identical?
Yeah, I don't. He's very skinny though, so he's skinnier than you. Actually,
you guys could get a gig doing before and after shots.
We
for a
could.
dance company.
Don't worry, I've made that joke before. He is like 20 kilos less than me at least. Right. And actually, you've lost a lot of weight over the years, just from your dancing.
Yourself. Yeah, definitely from the dancing. I recommend it. It's intense. Someone told me, did the show the other night, and they said, that's actually worse than high-intensity interval training, what you do.
Yeah. It's
like,
good,
okay.
good. And then anyway, we go Italy, Switzerland, France, England, because the kids want to go to Harry Potter World.
Yeah, I do. Too.
Oh, yeah.
Take me.
Yeah, Harry Potter. Yeah, you can come.
Okay.
And so that's going to be fun. So, yeah, I thought, well, I'm not doing the festivals. I'll do that. Because, as we know, doing a festival show is exhausting.
Yeah, I've noticed.
And as you get older, you go, why do I do it again? I can't, why?
Yeah.
And so I had such a good year last year when I did my book as a festival show, and then I just went, let's go overseas.
Yeah. So how long are you away altogether?
A month.
I thought you never went away as a great man.
It's been said about me. One of my strengths is that I never go away, but I am going away. That's one of my selling points.
You've lost your selling point. You've lost your marketability.
I am going away. I'll try and do some podcasts overseas. I'd love to talk to any British comics or French comics or just Australians or anyone working over there. It'd be great.
Yeah.
But I've got to look into that.
Do one with old mate twin brother. Glenn.
Yeah. Yes. Just to hear his accent. Yes, I know. It's like he speaks like this. Yes, I know. Yeah, he's lived there for over 20 years, Dave, and he has this accent. And
really?
I've had him on the radio before on the ABC, and I go, tell everyone what you do for a job. And he goes, it's quite complicated what I do. I don't know if I can explain it here on the radio. I'm like, well, mate, have a crack.
Yeah.
Right? You're on the ABC. And his job is basically, he used to work for the Red Cross, and now still works for the Red Cross and other organisations like that, and assesses the programs in the third world. So say if you've got a they won't have a dance program, but a first aid program or a water program in the Congo, he goes to the Congo a bit, he turns up and assesses whether it's working or not.
Yeah, right.
And that's pretty straightforward. We all understand.
Yeah.
My kids get that.
I get that too. I'm a kid.
You walk around a clipboard, you say, yeah, that's working. Anyway, enough about my twin brother. Yeah, maybe I'll do one with him.
Do it. Yeah, for sure.
Glenn.